we're going to be taking a look at raw feeding for beginners. Raw feeding is easy. It only becomes complicated when money and uncertainty is involved, and if people follow the latest food trends. So from a business front, the more I emphasize that raw feeding is complicated and you need to buy my special blend, you won't be able to do it yourself, the more money I'm going to make, because it seems too complicated for you to build your own menu. The second front is the trend that's been going around for several years, and that is to say that your raw food needs to match the nutrient requirements specified for pellets. Otherwise, it's unbalanced. That's incorrect. And so then the idea of raw feeding becomes either too challenging or too expensive. And that would be a real shame, as it's really worthwhile investigating feeding a raw diet to your cat or dog. Diabetes, autoimmune conditions, heart disease, cancer, and obesity is due to the artificial, ultra-processed pellet diet that we're feeding our cats and dogs. So let's try and remove some of the uncertainty for you today. If you want to do it yourself, DIY raw feeding, the easiest way is to break it down into 5 parts. We have meaty bones, meat, organs, fat, and then items like eggs and sardines. Now the first part is meaty bones, and the rule of thumb is any porous bone. You want meaty bones that enable your dog to chew and gnaw and rip and tear, as it's very important for teeth cleaning. Plaque on teeth is a major contributor to secondary infections. Avoid smooth bones like smoked bones and marrow bones. Marrow bones chip and break teeth, cut gums, and come out the other end as jagged shards. So what's it doing to your dog's stomach? The second part is meat, and this can include lungs and hearts and tongue and tripe. No MDM. MDM are carcasses that have gone through a mechanical heat process to remove the last vestiges of anything that is not bone. It is way too high in certain minerals, and we know that heat destroys heat-sensitive amino acids and vitamins. The third component is organs. Liver is good, and kidneys are good, and spleen is a nice add-on. The fourth part, fat. Fat is good. Fat does not make fat, but should not be more than 20% of the diet. And the last is oily fish like sardines and mackerel. If your dog eats fish, great. Eggs are wonderful. I love eggs. Eggs are the perfect meal. And if you have access to items like brains and glands and pancreas, add that as well. Think along the lines of nose to tail. If you want to feed raw but are more interested in feeding a premix, then read the ingredients. Sometimes people are so excited to move away from pellets that they don't look at the ingredients. And if you're budget-minded, reading the ingredients should also help with determining the costs. So let me give you an example, and this is human food. Some retailers sell a product called ground beef. What comes to mind? You think, okay, it's minced beef, and that is a natural assumption until you read the ingredients. The ingredients are 60% beef, 33% water, and 7% soya, spices, and preservatives. The cost is 40 Rand for 400 grams. So that works out to 100 Rand for a kilo. Now, if you take that 100 Rand and divide it by 60%, because it only contains 60% meat, then you're actually paying 166 Rand per kilo for a beef mince. So what might seem a good budget option is actually more expensive than steak. So now, for those that follow the AFCO and NRC in building their raw diets, you are overcomplicating and oversupplementing, and you are putting people that want to try raw off raw. So in the next couple of podcasts, I will discuss why this is a fallacy and why matching your raw food to the requirements for NRC and AFCO is not required. So thanks for watching.